Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody on Instagram. Hello, everyone on YouTube. Hopefully, you all are having a fantastic day. We're getting to it today, the nuts and bolts of it all. Hey, Bree Harris. Hey. Hey, Brianna. The nuts and bolts. We put down the foundation on Tuesday. I forgot. I think it was Tuesday. We put down the foundation on Tuesday. Now we're getting ready to add in, the wood and the bricks to build our house. Today we're talking about food and herbs. We're talking about food and herbs. And this ain't no baby talk. Okay, this ain't no, you just need to eat a clean diet. You need to make sure you have 6 meals. No, we're going deep today. We're going deep today. So we're going to be talking about some things that you all need to know. Why you all are having issues of feeling old, why the body is feeling old, why the bones are out of alignment, why the organs can be out of alignment. Okay. We're talking subluxation here, ladies and gentlemen. Subluxation. All right. Even with adjustments, when you go to the chiropractor, you're still going to have issues even after you come from the chiropractor and you have to get readjusted. And, a lot of things that, the chiropractor is not going to go over with you, what you need to do naturally to decrease or stop the subluxation so you don't have to continue to go. So, and that's just the misalignment of organs and the vertebrae, and particularly the spine. We talked about the spine on Tuesday, of the spine being out of alignment and what we need to do when it came down to corrective stretching. So hopefully you all have been incorporating some corrective stretching into your daily movements, because that's going to be the way for you to start to reverse the aging process. Hello, Ram Strong and Celestero Poppy and She Nomadic and Jason. Hello. So if you all have incorporated, I just finished teaching Tai Chi and Qigong. I teach Tai Chi and Qigong twice a week to seniors ages 65 to 95, and it has tremendously helped their lives. I also teach it to all ages twice a week in South Memphis. I'm here in Memphis, Tennessee, to people of all ages, nationalities, cultures, and we go over breath and we go over movements in order to continue to keep the body in a nice, relaxed state. Because if we're in a relaxed state, our body can heal itself. On Tuesday, we talked about corrective stretching. What you all should be doing. We talked about 4 different corrective stretchings. If you all remember, it was active, passive, dynamic, and PNF. This is what we talked about on Tuesday. Remember, the PNF is the assisted. You cannot do that alone. You need to have a partner, or you can go to places. I know here we have Stretch Zone. You can go to places where people will stretch you out. You've probably seen some of the athletes on the floor getting stretched out by a physical therapist or a trained exercise physiologist. These are people who know how to actually move the joints and the muscles in a particular way to relieve any pain and to receive myofascial release. Almost got tongue-tied with that word. But that's PNF stretching. Okay, so you all should be doing that. Dynamic, active, and passive stretching. We went over all those. If you missed it and you did not get to see it and you don't know what I'm talking about, then please go back. I have posted it on YouTube, on my Miss Fitness Diva YouTube. It's also on the Miss Fitness Diva Instagram page. And today, like I said before, we are putting the foundation to our house. We're getting ready to build our house. I'm drinking some ginger tea with cayenne. It's strong. Ginger tea with cayenne is good for digestion. Today we're talking food. We're talking about the nuts and bolts of putting this house together, getting the bricks, getting the wood, getting them all stacked up. We need to know what we need to be doing. And this is not just people with issues as far as like being old and or getting maturing. I would say that getting older in age, your body should not be dragged on down, and it hurts to get out the bed, and you slow rolling out the bed, and you slow rolling out after sex, you can't hardly move, and getting in and out the car, you can't hardly move. It ain't got nothing to do with age. It has to do with everything that you ingest. And you are a compilation of everything that you put in your mouth. And the blood is the river of life. You need to know that your blood is the river of life. So what is in your blood? Do you know your blood type? First and foremost, do you know your blood type? You all, if you have been following me for a while and listening to my lives, you know I talk a lot about blood type. And I come from a perspective because I've done this with clients before, and they've lost the weight by eating first for their blood type. If you can start eating for your blood type, you can start to see progression in weight loss. You'll also start to see issues that you have with joints and pains and knees and shoulders and back and everything. You'll reverse that. Okay. You need to look up, are you O positive? Are you O negative? A lot of people, that's kind of like a common blood type is O, because you can have a parent that's O and a parent that's A and still be O. You can have a parent that's B and a parent that's A and still get O. You can have a parent that's B and still get O. The only type is AB. AB gives a run for the money. Okay. Now, if you have a parent, hey, Linda. Hey, Blue Yaval. If you have a parent that's AB and then you have a parent that's B or A, you won't get O. Okay. You'll get one or the other. You'll get an A or you'll get a B. That's the only type of combination. So a lot of people are O. I am O positive. So you need to know your RH. If you're RH negative or RH positive, you need to know your RH factor. I took immunology in college, so all of this kind of information is locked in. And I'm really into eating right for your blood type. I've told you all that before. We're transitioning into summer. If you watched the last video, you know, I talked to you all about what we need to be eating going into the summer solstice. I talk from and I teach from a traditional Chinese medicine perspective. So we know that in the season of spring that we're in right now, we only have a few more days left here, that we should be working on our liver and our gallbladder, right? We're going into summer. Summer is correlated with the element of fire, which also relates to the heart, organ of the heart, and the small intestines. So starting next week, like I told my participants in Tai Chi Qigong, we're going to do more movements that's focused on the heart, opening up the heart chakra, opening up the heart element, focus on the small intestines, massaging the organs through movement and breath and what that looks like. I haven't decided if I'm going to go live here or post a video on some movements that you all do. I'll think about it. On some movements that you all need to do for summer. So today is targeting people. If you have your gallbladder removed, you're fine. You really need to focus on liver function, okay? Because now your liver is doing everything. And you can live a happy, productive life without a gallbladder, people. You really can. But you really need to make sure that you're eating those sour foods because bile is what is produced in the gallbladder to break down and get the fat out. So if you're not producing that in your gallbladder, you need to make sure that you're eating those sour foods. You know, I said before, watercress, spinach, lemons. I think I posted this, a list of all the foods, melons that you need to be eating for the springtime. I also have a spring detox. If you haven't done a detox, and you all, every season you should be doing a detox. Every season you should be doing a cleanse. Hey, Kim, Austin, Texas, how you doing? Look Depart. I like that, Look Depart. That's cute. And today we are going into part 2. We did part 1 on Tuesday. Part one, I talked about how to reverse the aging process from a corrective stretching perspective. So I'm not just talking exercise and movements. You all know we grown here. Everybody know they need to exercise. Everybody know they need to eat right. Okay. So what I do, I go a little bit deeper. Okay. We got stuff. Miss Fitness Diva has different certifications and licenses and stuff and degrees on the wall. And it just ain't for show. It actually means something. I actually go to school and I've went to school for things that are helping me help you. Okay. So I know these things. So it's time for me to share a lot of the knowledge. It's fun to, get up and work out and do challenges. But the real part of it and the real foundation of it all is for you to be educated. So while I'm talking, I always suggest people to get a pen or a pencil or be in a space where you can write down or take notes or something, where you can get this information and you can review it and go back over it. Because as I go through it, I also have intuitive messages that come to me about health and wellness and fitness and what my audience that's listening to me needs. So as that comes up, I suggest you write them down. Okay, I highly suggest you write them down, because then I'll get off of this live and then somebody will come to me and be like, oh, what did you say about what do we need to do? And I'll be out of that mental space and I'll be like, ooh, I don't even know what you're talking about. You're gonna have to go back and look at it, because I was receiving information. Okay, and that's what I do when I go and speak. I also do speaking engagements. So when I go and speak to different audiences, if you all know, it's even with entertainers and performers, they receive the energy from their audience of what they want and what they need. And so spirit guides me. God gives me information that I need to share with you of all the years of studying that I've received. This information is in me. And so whoever needs to hear it will hear it. So going into part two today. Part two, we're talking about reversing the aging process. Hey, Chris. We're talking about reversing the aging process from a natural and holistic perspective. And today we're talking about foods and herbs, okay? Foods and herbs. This is not just targeted people who are wanting to reverse the aging process, which, remember, on Tuesday we talked about the telomeres. Hopefully you all went and did your research so you know what telomeres are on the chromosome and know what they mean to your body and aging. That is really key in what I'm talking about and what I'm going to be moving forward talking about. I think I'm going to go live tomorrow so I can talk to you about photo biomodulation, because you all need to know about that. It's wonderful. And how the body works with that. But today we're talking about foods. Now, if you have an autoimmune disease, lupus or MS or anything where the body is fighting against itself, even if you have cancer, this is going to be for those people who want to heal themselves, because the body is designed to heal itself naturally, okay, without any type of chemical that we put in our body. And we're talking about foods and we're talking about herbs. So the first thing that you want to do, and the foundation of it all, and when I finish this, I'm going to go back over the summer solstice and what you all should be doing for the summer solstice in regards to eating, what you all need to do, whether you do it for 24, 48, or 72 hours. So anyway, in regards to foods, if you are someone who has if you're someone who has a family member that has Alzheimer, dementia, they're losing cognitive function, they have an autoimmune disease, they're having issues with their liver, their kidney, one of their organs is out of balance. If you are a person that's waking up anytime between 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. in the morning, that lets me know, and it should let you know, that there is an organ out of balance and a few organs out of balance. And I told you of two major organs, really three, that are out of balance. We talked about this on Tuesday and the week before, and that's your liver, your gallbladder, and your lungs. So between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m., that's when those organs are rejuvenating and repairing themselves. So if you're waking up between those times of the night, when you should be resting and sleeping and rejuvenating, that lets me know that one of those organs are out of balance, okay? And you need to look into getting those back to play and doing a detox. Like I tell people, detox and cleanse, I mean two different things, okay? You need to do a detox for those particular organs, specifically the liver, okay? Hey, Katie Brown. So if you are someone who suffers from that, and I want to start with this. If you're someone who suffers from autoimmune disease, and you also, or someone who has something like cancer or a detrimental illness, you want to go on a transitional fast. You want to transition into your fast. Now, fasting is something that works hands down, but there are different types of ways to fast. Hello, Forever, Carla Jean, and TW Stays. People just can't fast and just jump right into it, because people say fast and be like, "Ooh, I can't do it," or people say, "Oh, it's just hard for me to fast," which rightfully so. The more fat you have on your body, this is just how it is. This is the science of it all, and this is also mindset. The more fat you have on your body, the harder it's going to be for you to fast. Okay, you're going to have to eat. The more leaner you are, the easier it is for you to fast on an ongoing basis longer. Hey, Fenton, it's easier for you to fast longer. So those of you all who are overweight, just say if you're overweight, obese, if you 20, 30 pounds overweight, 20, 30 pounds overweight plus, or obese or morbidly obese, I do not suggest you going on any type of water fast. I don't suggest you going on any type of no food fast. Okay, you're going to have to eat. So you're like, okay, I need to eat, but it has to be a cleaned up diet. And that's why it's a transitional fast, because you're working yourself up into, and I posted this earlier, and I'm going to talk about the mucusless diet. And if you haven't read that book, it is a really, really good book. I suggest you, especially if you're really into health, or you're someone who has family members and you're trying to help them or yourself, read The Mucusless Diet or get it on Audible. It's a really, really great book. And you also need to know your blood type. But anyway, going into transitioning yourself into the fast. If you're 20 to 30 pounds or more overweight, you don't want to just fast and just go like, oh, they're doing a fruit fast and I'm just going to do this with this group. Or they're doing a liquid fast, I'm just going to do it in this group. 9 times out of 10, really 10 times out of 10, you're going to fall off. You're going to get hungry and you're going to succumb to eating. Worst case scenario, you're going to get really sick. You're going to get lightheaded. You're going to get dizzy. You're not going to be able to focus. Your body is taking over, because we have to think about it. A lot of us who are listening right now are 30, 40, 50 plus years old. Okay? What we have been doing for 30, 40, 50 plus years is not going to change at the snap of a finger by you deciding, oh, I'm going to go on a fast and I'm just going to eat, fruits, or I'm just going to do liquids. You're going to do yourself more harm than good. It's just like taking someone who is an alcoholic off of alcohol and they go into, they start having seizures, right? And they can die. So a person who has been eating unhealthy foods for 30, 40 years, and then they go into wanting to fast, it's extreme. So that's why you have the good, better, and best. You start people where they are. So this is what I tell people. Start to incorporate more foods and decrease the starches. So if you're over 30 pounds, overweight, you don't want to just fast. Hey, B Pope. You don't want to just go on a fast. You want to start to reduce So what you do is like, hey, I'm not going to go to fast foods, but what I'm going to do is add in more seasonal fruits, the ones that I gave you for the summer. I'm going to add in more green leafy vegetables, and I'm still going to have those carbs and those starches, okay? Still have the potatoes, still have the toast, and there's healthier ways that you can cook them, okay? And bake them instead of, doing frying and stir frying and having potato, what I'm talking about, French fries. I ain't having them so long. Is that instead of having French fries and then things like that, you can bake the potatoes and you can also do a stir fry. Okay, so you don't want to have the French fries. So still have that, because if you don't, you're going to have more issues with your hormones. And that's why I tell people, I've had clients to do extreme fasts. And I say, okay, if you made up your mind to do this, this is another key thing that you all can do. If you like, hey, I'm just, 10 or 15 pounds overweight and I think I can do it. If you do, go get you some coconut oil capsules. Write that down. You can get them from Walgreens. You can get it from anywhere, really. Any market. You can get it from Walmart, Walgreens, any one of the markets. They'll have coconut oil capsules. You're going to need that for brain function, okay? When you completely remove yourself from something you've been doing, some people can do it. I'm one of the ones who I can cut myself off cold turkey, and I'm fine. I may feel a little lightheaded, but I'm like, hey, I can fight through it. I'll just drink my water. I know I can get through it. I'll do my breathing work. I'll do my meditation, and I'm okay. Everybody's not there, and I know everybody's not there, and I'm talking to people who aren't. And so we want to be honest with ourselves what we can do. And so what we'll do is keep the carbs, add in more fruits and green leafy vegetables. 2, when you're going into a mucus-less diet, you're reducing the mucus, because some people have hardened arteries and they got this mucus buildup in their system. They're coughing up mucus. You can see mucus in your stool. You're bloated. You're having joint issues. That's letting me know if you're having cracks and pains and issues. Remember, we're talking about reversing the aging process naturally. Then you have a overabundance of mucus, because we need mucus. It's a protection mechanism for our body. We don't want to go without it. We have to have mucus. Let's get that out the way. Okay, we have mucous membranes in the body. So we are created to have it, but we don't want to have an overabundance of it, which comes with eating acidic foods. So we want to look at adding in more alkaline and making sure that our body isn't acidic, because as we well know, we've already had teachers before us, like Dr. Sebi, Dr. Layla Africa. A lot of these people have already talked about an alkaline diet, or even eating for the African cultures, like Dr. Layla Africa talks about. So we know we need to remove those acidic foods, which can be, first, based on your blood type. You need to know what your blood type is. All right. And then we already know the fried foods, the oils, all of that is working against the grain of the body. So we eliminate that. We want to have fruits, nuts, seeds, and green leafy vegetables. That's the mucus-less diet. It consists of those in their raw forms. All right. So, but someone who has an autoimmune disease, or someone who is 20, 30 pounds plus pounds overweight, I do not suggest you just eating that and that's it. You have to transition yourself. What's going on, Derek? You have to transition yourself into that. And we're starting off with still having those green leafy vegetables, still having the fruits, nuts, seeds, but we're also keeping the carbs. I sure will, sir. It is my purpose. So we keep those carbs. Now, another thing, and I used to teach this as well, which is wrong. And I admit it, I used to teach this to my clients about eating an inversion pyramid. Eating from an inversion pyramid means, you eat large for breakfast and then you start to taper it down. Looks like a slice of pizza, okay? Out and down. That's incorrect, Okay? We shouldn't wake up eating a large meal. Our bodies are waking up to start to recover. We don't want to wake up and have a big meal. And we always hear that, like, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. We need to eat a huge meal. No, not for those who are trying to cleanse our system, and really not for anybody. Okay? When you first wake up in the morning, the body's natural response is to eliminate. The body's natural response is to what I said last week, is to stretch, is to bring in oxygen, because we can't go long without the breath. Okay, so we need air. So we're going to yawn, we're going to stretch, and then we got to go to the restroom. Okay, so if we have to eliminate, why would we eliminate and then pile in more food? So, okay, Miss Fitness Diva is taking some things away, but she's giving you some tools. Okay, so when I'm taking away what you're not supposed to do, I'm going to give you what you should do. So therefore, you go with liquid. Remember, I told you all earlier, the blood is the river of life. Keep that always in your mind. The blood is the river of life. So what is my blood a compilation of? How is my blood cleansed? Is my blood working for me? Is the type of blood things that I'm putting in my system creating the cells that's going to give me life? Or the foods that I'm putting in creating the cells that is killing me and degenerating my system? So that's why I'm talking to you about reversing the aging process, because it's all in what you're putting in. So in the morning, instead of eating your big, large meal, instead of going McDonald's and whatever y'all get, what y'all get, the flapjacks, which y'all eating, the egg, cheese, croissant, or the sausage, egg, biscuit, and all of that heavy food that is processed, that's acidic. I had someone else come to me, a client, I was talking to her and helping her, and she was talking to me about her mom. Her mom has, she's 80 something years old. She has these reoccurring UTIs. Okay. So first and foremost, if anything is wrong with you from a homeopathic perspective, from naturopathic medicine perspective, the first question is, what you all think? What you all think my first question was? Type it. Let me see what you think. Smoothie or fruit and water? My first question was, what is she eating? What are you all feeding her? Yeah, what's your diet? What you eating? I can't just give you anything, because just like I'm telling you how to transition, how to transition to a mucusless diet, you have to transition to a fast. I don't suggest people just, ooh, I'm a fast today. Ooh, I'm just gonna eat all fruit. Ooh, no, not if you 50 some pounds overweight and you ain't did this before. You cannot do that. Hey, Crystal, you're going to have to transition to your fast. Okay? So instead of having the huge breakfast, like I just said before, the egg and cheese biscuit and the toast with the sausage and all of this kind of stuff, you're not supposed to be eating that in the morning. Allow your body to start to cleanse itself. It's a machine. It's a high-performing machine. Give it what it needs to function. So aside from breath, what's the second thing our body needs that we can't go without? Everybody should know this. Water, right? So the next thing you need to is take in some liquids. I always suggest people take some lemon, squeeze a half a lemon in about 4 to 6 ounces of warm water, and drink that in the morning. Or do you a tea, do your herbal tea. Do some things that's going to help build up the blood. Remember, we're always thinking about the blood is the river of life. The blood is the river of life. All day, you're thinking about the blood is the river of life. So before you decide to stop and eat at Popeyes, you're thinking about whatever is in this food here, is this what I want in my blood as being the river of life? Because that's what's going to end up being in your system to give you these ailments. We have already in us free radicals. I'm like, Miss Fitness Steve, what's free radicals? Right? On all these terms. Free radicals. They're in our bodies just waiting for an opportunity for us to give it more acidic foods, give it more of things that are not good for us. And then in conjunction with all the bad stuff, year after year after year, what ends up being created? Cancer, autoimmune disease. The body starts fighting against itself. We don't know our blood type. We're not eating properly for it. We're eating a lot of packaged foods that's processed, that's acidic, that's creating more mucus in the system. That mucus is hardening on our arteries and in our system, and then it starts to show itself up in different shapes and forms. The first indicator is the fact that, oh my back, oh my knee, oh my elbow, oh my shoulder. I woke up all these. It's just old, girl. We get old. I don't live by them rules. I don't live by them rules, baby. So fruits, nuts, green leafy vegetables. Okay. Now the green leafy vegetables. Why do we eat green leafy vegetables? Why do we eat green leafy vegetables? Well, one, let's tell people, we eat green leafy vegetables because they're like a broom. They come in and they sweep everything out. Those green leafy vegetables, they come in and sweep everything out. And then guess what? A lot of people say, oh, I got to get my protein. I got to get my protein from, I got to eat meat because I eat protein. And then I'm like, but where to build muscle and all that? But where does the animal get it from? Right? The animals are eating grass. I don't know cows that sit and hopefully, we know some farmers feed dead cows to other dead cows. We know that, right? We are aware that we have sick animals that die, and then we have farmers that will not allow that to go to waste, and then grind it up and feed the flesh of the dead sick animal to the other animals to fatten them up. We're well aware of that. Hopefully we know this. Okay. So they'll do that, but naturally they graze. Okay. Or animals who are more savage, like the lions and the rest, they eat their flesh raw. Okay. And we're more, and then I think it started in Germany, where they would eat raw flesh. That's where it came from. In Germany and other European cultures, they would eat raw flesh. That was a delicacy for them to eat the flesh raw. They would not cook it. It would be bloody. And that's where the eating of the meat started there. It wasn't cooking the flesh. Wasn't nobody cooking anything. Because in their mind, they were just like the animal. The animal rips and kills their prey. They rip the flesh and they eat it. Blood and all. Blood, guts, bone, all of that. They tear it up. And that's what the more savage cultures were doing. And a lot of more of the indigenous cultures, who are indigenous to the Americas, and Tamari, they were eating fruits, nuts, and the green leafy vegetables. Okay. These right here, we don't have the canines to eat the flesh like that. And that's how we know how we were created, were to eat these fleshy types of fruits and vegetables and everything that's within season. Also, we can look at the types of fruits that we need to eat and the vegetables we need to eat. We think about the blood is the river of life. So what color of this fruit correlates with the color of my blood? I will want beets, plums. Those dark purple or dark red fruits are the ones you want to eat to help cleanse your system. So going back, we're building our house, reversing the aging process through fruits, vegetables, and herbs and natural healing. So if you have an autoimmune disease, if you have issues with cognitive function, but you are 20 pounds or more overweight, you cannot just go on a complete fast just as a snap of a hat. Do your transition. Now, after you've transitioned for like a week or two, and you've gotten in the habit of not stopping at the fast food restaurants, preparing your meals at home, drinking your water, waking up, not having the egg and cheese biscuits and whatever, you pat flapjacks and all the heavy oatmeal and all of that. You're not eating that. You're doing your water, you're doing your tea, you're allowing the body to flush itself out completely, because we should all know as well that even the feces, like and I've eaten meat in my life. I've only been plant-based and vegan for 7 years. So if I've had meat in my life prior to me going plant-based. So all of that food that I've eaten, all of that flesh that I've eaten, that still is sitting in the intestines. So every time I do a cleanse, more and more comes out. That's why when people do a colonics, they'll say black sludge came out, because you still have that sits in the lining of your intestines and it doesn't come out. Nothing that you did for over 20 years is going to come out just because you gave it a year or more of attention. Just because I'm 7 years plant-based don't mean a damn thing, because for 30 plus years I wasn't. So we can't look for miracles, but we have to know that eating fresh, raw fruits and vegetables is a slow but healing process. A lot of people have in their mindset that they want to treat nature and our healthy foods like medication, because that's how media and that's how the doctor's office has tweaked our brains. You know, people will come to me and be like, okay, well, what herb I need to take? And hell, you still eat acid. Maybe so you want me to give you a herb on top of poison? Make it make sense. You first have to clean your diet. I cannot give you a herb and your diet is trash. It's not going to help much. You have to first clean your diet. So if anybody, and that's why I'm empowering you all, if anybody comes to you, I don't care what the problem is. I don't care if they bipolar. I don't care if they have seizures. I don't care if they're trying to have a baby and they're not fertile. I don't care if they have leukemia, breast cancer, kidney issues, brain cancer. I don't care what they got. This is not just for people who are obese. Whenever somebody comes to you and they have any issue, if they're walking on a cane, if they have rheumatoid arthritis, dementia, whatever, first you're going to clean their diet. Look at what they're eating every day. And then, just like I told my client whose mother, 80-some years old, with the urinary tract infection, UTIs reoccurring, give me her diet. Let me transition to clean her diet, then get her on a complete mucusless diet. And then we're going to build from there with other remedies and herbs that we're going to give her to really fully bring her body back into life so it can increase and help build up the immune system and build up her reproductive system and not have her so much susceptible to illness and disease, because it's coming from the foods. Okay? It's coming from the foods. So that is where we start. Now let's talk about herbs, because once we get on the track of, hey, we're not eating a big breakfast in the morning. Some of you are probably like, good, hell, I don't like to eat in the morning anyway. That was me. I was like, I don't know why. I've always been little. I'm like, I can't eat in the morning. I'm not hungry. I don't know. I don't want anything. And it makes sense. The body is still flushing itself out. That's why I tell people, do ginger tea with the cayenne. What did I tell you cayenne was? I talked about it. I told you all cayenne was a vasodilator, right? Coffee is a vasoconstrictor. That's why you don't want to do coffee in the morning. You're constricting. All right? You don't want to do that. We want to have the vasodilations. We want to have the blood flow. We want to get the body warmed up. We think about the blood as the river of life. Ginger is good for digestive tract. It's good to help elimination. It's getting your digestive system, your gastrointestinal tract warmed up so you can eliminate properly. We're talking about vitality. Hey, Warm Domingo and Top Cats 14. So start off with a tea or your lemon water, warm, not cold. I don't care how hot it is outside. You need warm. Remember last week we talked about why we shouldn't be eating ice cream, popsicles, ice water, and all that, even during the summer months. It stagnates your digestive system. Okay? So you'll find yourself more bloated. You may have more flatulence. Your food is not going to digest properly, and you're going to have issues. You may even get constipated. Okay? So you don't want to eat those cold foods. You don't want to eat that ice cream and all that stagnates it. So once we get to a point where we're doing that, we want to make sure we have our lunch in between 10. I'm still waiting on my detox. What detox? You ordered the detox tea or did you do the 3-day detox? Are you talking about the mucus? Did you email me? supportcm@themissfitnessdiva.com. I don't know. I send out all emails. So what is your name? And I'll check. What is your name? I should have, if you inbox me your email, I sent it to you. And check your spam. And check your spam, check your junk. Because if you emailed, you should have inboxed me in. What? Oh, yes, my Uncle Tony. Okay. Send me your email and I'll send you the 3-day detox program of what you need to do. But anyway, going back to removing that, you start off with your tea at 10 to 11 o'clock a.m. That's when you need to have lunch. That's when you need to eat your lunch, 10 to 11. Because remember the circadian rhythm clock, remember we went over the circadian rhythm clock and what you're supposed to be doing at each time of the day. Around 5 and 6 o'clock p.m., this is when you're supposed to be eating your dinner. You need to eat your dinner around 5 or 6 o'clock. So you're waking up, you're doing the tea. Probably around about, now those, once you get to, you've done the transitional fast diet for about 2 weeks, we're going to move on to the next step. The next step is at 10 to 11 o'clock in that time of the day for your lunch. You're going to have a plate of fruits only. And remember those fruits that we talked about for the season of summer. So that's kiwi, pear, pineapple, tangerines, those watermelon, apple. Yeah. That is what you want to eat during those times. 10 to 11. You want a plate of fruit. You are thinking about your body being your blood being the river of life. So you're putting all of that back in. Yesterday I did nothing but dark plums all day. Okay. So you want a mono meal. When you get to a point where you've been doing this mucusless diet, the next step on the process of transitioning is going into mono meal. Mono meal is eating one particular food all day, and it's a fruit. So you're going to eat that one fruit all day. So if you want to do watermelon, you're going to eat watermelon all day, 24 hours. You're only eating watermelon. If you're doing pineapple, you're only going to eat pineapple all day long. Okay? You're allowing the body to flush, cleanse itself out, release toxins, slowing it down, and allow itself to heal itself. Now, the key indicator to know where you are on your journey, once you get to mono mealing, and that's doing one fruit all day, and you got to the point where you can do that, or you may start off doing that just by yourself. You may just start off, hey, I'm just going to start off in the mono meal. Now I do eat pineapple all day and water. I do my tea, pineapple, and water all day. If that's where you start, that's excellent. Now you can check how much toxicity and mucus you have in your body by the buildup of your tongue. Okay? You want to do a tongue check. So you'll go to the mirror, you'll stick out your tongue and look at it. Now, if it has a lot of thick white film on your tongue, that means your body is still having a lot of mucus in it. You'll see that happen when you do the mono meal fast. When you do that mono meal fast, because it's going to bring a lot of things that's up out. And that's why people will feel sick when they do a cleanse or when you detox an organ. They'll be like, "Ooh, I don't feel good. Like, oh my God, I don't think I'm be able to do this." And that's why I say do the transition for those who are 20 pounds or more heavier, because sometimes it's mind over matter, and you may not be able to be as strong and know what you need to do mentally to relax the body and the mind so it can be able to do everything it needs to do to heal itself. But it lets you know how much toxins and how much mucus is in the body. So check the tongue. The tongue is going to be your key indicator. So as thick white film that's on your tongue, even, I'm not saying like brush your tongue and then look at it, but after the day, like after you brush your teeth, you've eaten your foods for the day, you drunk your water, then later on that evening, look at your tongue. Okay, always check your tongue and your stool. Those are two things you want to see. You'll probably see mucus. White mucus that'll come out your body in a stool. And then check your tongue. Your tongue will have like a white film on it that'll let you know how much mucus and toxin buildup is in your body. Now, that's not for you to say, hey, I'm not doing this anymore. Like this is not helping me. I'm not going to do it. No, it's for you to continue on. Because like I said before, just because you do something for a week and you've been doing an unhealthy lifestyle for 30, 40, 50, some people 60 years, it's not going to change overnight. Now, our herbs. We're going to go into the adaptogens. Remember, I talked to you all about the adaptogen herbs that I want you all to get. And I think we went over this the last time when we talked about adaptogens. Let me pull it up. Let's pull it up. I know for me, one of them that I do like is why is my computer doing this? Ginseng. And when I say adaptogen, a lot of people are like, okay, what's that? But your adaptogen herbs are what balances your hormones. That's your hormone balance. Okay, so here it is. So you have your reishi mushroom. You have ginseng, maca root, milk thistle, aloe vera, licorice. All of these you want to do as an adaptogen herb to bring the body back into balance. To bring the body back into balance. Ashwagandha is also one. I've done ashwagandha. I do the licorice root. That's also in my detox tea. I've grown the reishi mushroom. I have reishi tinctures that I've created. All of these are adaptogens that brings the body's hormones into balance. Okay, so you're going to need these adaptogens as well to help reverse the aging process, because a lot of us have an increase of stress hormones. Our stress hormones are so high. All right. Or some women who have fibroids, they have an overabundance of estrogen, another hormone, progesterone, and we have these imbalance in our hormones, and we want to bring them back into balance. That's what the adaptogens do. Okay. They bring the body back into balance. Those herbs are key into your diet. You need to add them. But I do not suggest anybody adding any herb until you start to cleanse your diet. You have to start first with the mucusless diet transition that I gave you first. So as you do the mucusless diet transition, that's where you want to start. Then you go into the mucusless diet itself, which are your mono-milling with just those particular herbs, and just those particular fruits, and your water and doing your tea in the morning, and then you'll add the herbs. But this is over a course of weeks and months. This is what you have to do. And this is extreme for those who have autoimmune disease, those who have eczema, people who have cancer, and they want to heal naturally. The body will heal itself naturally. People who have cognitive function, degenerative diseases, even MS, or you have bipolarism, or you have schizophrenia, you have a mental disorder, all of this is good. No matter what your issue or your body disharmony is, this is where you want to start. The food and the herbs, these adaptogen herbs and the mucusless diet, the foods that I gave you, and your stepping stone is the way that you get there in order to heal your body. All right. Does anybody have any questions? No questions. All right. Well, I am going to save this. This live will be saved so people can come back and watch it. Take notes if you need it.